have the bollocks.
Do you really want to go toe-to-toe with me on that?
You've completely, like, what are we doing here? Levy isn't going anywhere.
It's all down to timing, isn't it?
Yes, guys, how you doing? Welcome back. Welcome back to the Spurs Five. How are you? It's the Spurs 3 at the moment. We do have one guest in the background. We have another guest coming in a little bit later. Johnny Madison, Mr. 33%, as Stel just said in the background. Absolutely sensational naming convention for him. Isn't here tonight, or at least not here right now. Unbelievable, the disappearing Johnny. He's out on his whatever he's doing. He's doing something fun again, no doubt. How's everybody doing, guys? We are here. We've got a long show to talk about all sorts of things. Please do, as usual, get through the admin, guys. Smash the like button for me if you can, if you enjoy the content, and hit the subscribe. We're on the march towards 30K. A long way to go. We're trying to get there. So any help at all would be most appreciated. Hit the notification bell and drop some comments thick and fast. Let us know what your thoughts are on whatever we are talking about. Also, guys, we are, of course, available on all your podcast platforms. So we are available on Spotify, where you can watch us back. We're also available on Apple Pods and Amazon and all that jazz. And, of course, we are sponsored, of course, today by OK Jersey. If you are looking for the best football shirts and all things sporting apparel, then you can find the best quality and the best prices available at OK Jersey. So search for OK Jersey, look up whatever you're looking for, get the right size, probably go a size up if you know, but make sure you do stick in the word 5, code 5 at checkout to get an additional 8% all off already fantastic prices. So we appreciate them for the sponsorship. Before I bring in the guest of the show thus far, Lubo, Mr. Uncensored, yes. Lubo Morgan, how are you, my man?
All good tonight, thanks. All good. Looking forward to the show. Hi to everybody watching. Like and subscribe. We've got 2 hours of fun.
Just quickly, where did you get that hat?
I was at a customer today in Leicester, so hello to the global boys. This hat was on the table. I said, can I borrow it for a couple of weeks? They said, no, you can have it. They're massive Piers Morgan fans.
Oh, they are.
So here's Lubo Uncensored tonight.
Lubo Uncensored. We'll see if he goes off on a rant. Let's just not mention Levy then. Mr. Stelios, how are you, mate? Also wearing a hat. Is that an espadrille? What is that?
It's a Panama hat.
A Panama hat. My apologies.
Yeah. Now that the season's over, I'm on holiday. So I'm going to be wearing the holiday gear on a weekly basis until next season. So good evening, everyone in the chat. Smash like, subscribe, notification bell. Once again, thank you to our podcast audience. We recorded the highest podcast viewing, or should I say listening, that we've had since we started. So thank you. Appreciate it.
Amazing work, chat. Amazing work. Right, let's find out who the special guest of the evening is. Let's find out. Who could it be? Who could it be? We'll find out. Please welcome to the show, my man, Mr. Tactical himself, Ashmatic. How are you, buddy? Good to see you, mate.
Right, I didn't know it was a hat thing, so let me just try to put something on quick. Oh, no. Is that all right? I didn't get the memo.
That's nice. Nice.
Hey, the Spurs 3, man. Big up to the Spurs 3. I think you lot need to change your intro as well, because, I don't know, I guess a few members are missing.
Yeah,
big up to the chat. Thanks for having me on, boys. Let's talk all things Spurs, man. Let's get into it.
Big up to you, my man. Big up to you, chat. You know what to do. Smash all the various buttons that need to be smashed and lock yourself in. There's already 600 people in the chat in the chat tonight. I'd love to see it. Right, we've got quite a lot of news to get through. The order of play, we will, of course, finish with West Ham towards the end of preview and what the connotations of victory or defeat might look like. But before we get to that, we have to start with a couple of new coaching. I think we should start there, guys. I think we should start there. Lubo, Johnny Heitinga ex-Ajax short-term first-team coach, amazing centre-half back in the early part of the millennium, part of the double Eredivisie winning team of Ajax. I think he spent 7 or 8 years there. Comes with a lot of experience, knows how to organise a back line, knows how to play a bit of good football as well, knows how to set up a team for possession-based stuff. He joins the coaching staff. We'll start there, mate. Are you familiar with Johnny Heitinga? Do you remember him from his Ajax days?
I remember him as a footballer. Couldn't tell you about his coaching. All I know about the coaching is the one recommendation that I've seen today from Tottenham was from Kudus, who said he's the most brilliant coach, best coach that he's worked with. So, that's praise indeed. And listen, it's all new with Spurs, isn't it? Everything's new. Every week there's somebody new joining. It's a whole new situation here. This is the post-Levy era, so you just wonder how many more people are going to come in. But listen, if he's as good as Kudus says he is, then that's a major plus for the team, isn't it? And the club.
Yeah. Do you think he's just a natural replacement for the for Matty Wells, who of course left in December? I think it was it late November, December to go to Colorado.
That's right.
Is it just it's like a seamless swapsies? Bring it out one, one goes out, one comes in.
Yeah, looks like it, doesn't it?
I think so. Although, to be honest, I'm not that dialed in on what the various coaching departments do on the football club. But I know Johnny Heitinga is well. I remember him being a no-nonsense centre back, and he's lovely passing. And so, if he can take his learnings from the possession-based football, which we don't see enough of at Tottenham, then should be good news. Ash, do you know much about Johnny Heitinga, mate?
Yeah, I do remember him from back in the day, but in terms of coaching, I'm like Lubo. I don't really know too much. I'm not dialed into him. Obviously, he was at Liverpool. We do know that. And I've got a few Liverpool mates I stream with every week. So I spoke to them, asked them about him. They said that they think they made a mistake letting him go, because ever since they've let him go, their team's gone to shit. But look, we can look at the Ajax performances, and maybe there's some question marks as well, because Ajax have been quite conservative from what I was watching and what I was looking at in terms of their formation and shape. Recently, they've gone to a 4-3-3, but at times I've seen them in a 4-5-1 or a 5-4-1. So, yeah, it's a mixed bag with the Ajax thing. And they recently got pumped. I think it was 6 or 7-0 by is it AZ Alkmaar? So, yeah, I don't really know. I know he's worked with, obviously, Moyes. He's obviously an ex-Everton guy, so he's worked closely with Moyes. I know at West Ham he did do some coaching with him there. So again, Moyes is a good defensive coach, and I think he's going to bring maybe something a little bit different to what our previous assistant coach brought to us, because obviously he worked under Scott Parker before, didn't he? Our previous assistant coach.
That's right.
And obviously, Ange, he was impressed by Ange. He said he had to go out and buy a diary because there was so much information that he wanted to get down. But this guy obviously comes with, different managers, different know-how. We'll see where it brings, man. I've got no expectation or any kind of opinion on him. I want to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, Stel, I saw you put something in the chat in the WhatsApp group there about his when he was, I think, caretaker manager or in charge of the first team there at Ajax. So obviously you've done a little bit of digging on the man. Talk to us, mate. What's your thoughts on the whole thing?
No, I've known from his Ajax days because I was a big fan of Ten Hag. Because we played Ajax when Ten Hag was manager. And for me, the season we got to the Champions League final, Ten Hag was their football team was the best to watch that season. Yeah. The Champions League Ajax were amazing. Listen, he's a bang average coach. Straight to the point, he's a bang average coach. He was awful with the Ajax B team, which is made up of a lot of the youth, big pardon, players of Ajax. He didn't do a good job with them, and they've got a very talented bunch. When he became the assistant coach of Liverpool, he got a fair bit of praise, but the reality is it was Speak Hulshoff, who's still there, that's the main guy. He's the main assistant coach. He's the tactician. He's the one that prepares the team. The reason Liverpool was so good is because of him, and he was the same guy that worked with Arne Slot at Feyenoord when they won trophies there. So if you're going to look at an assistant coach, look at him. He's very good. And he focuses more on the attacking play as well, which is why Liverpool had scored the most goals last season by any other team by some distance. And then this season, our new assistant coach, he was the manager at Ajax, and it was a disaster, absolute rubbish. He left them losing 6-0 to AZ Alkmaar. So anyone that thinks this guy's anything special, sorry, he's average. He's not bad as a defensive coach, though. In terms of defensive coaching, he's not bad. But there's many defensive coaches out there that are good. Is defense our biggest issue? No. It's keeping possession of the ball. It's being good on the transitions. It's creating opportunities and putting the ball in the back of the net. That's where we're lacking. So, look, people are going to jump on it because it's different, and that's what we do at Tottenham. Anything different, we jump on it, we praise it, we put it on a pedestal until it comes crashing down. He's all right. He's nothing special. He's an okay coach. So, sorry, guys. I'm not going to sit here and gas him up because he's that's all he is. And his history proves that as well.
Yeah, that's fair enough, mate. Listen, I don't know too much about him. In fact, I don't know anything about his coaching stuff at all. I just know I remember the player, and I thought he was a good player in a system that I would hope some of those learnings would have come across from. But yeah, I've got no idea about his coaching. So we wish him well anyway. Stell's already put the stamp, the marker down. He's absolutely terrible, and therefore we shouldn't be pumped. So
he's average. He's average. As a manager, he's awful. As a coach, he's average.
Okay. We shall see. Well, good luck to him anyway. Good luck to him. We have also got another inbound man to add to the structure of the football club. I should be bringing up Connor Levynomics' his graphic there about the shape of the structure, the flat horizontal hierarchy we have now. But this is from the football club, from Tottenham's official statement today. Tottenham are pleased to announce the appointment of Carlos Rafael Moerson as Director of Football Operations, a newly created role as part of the club's approach to build a modern high-performance football structure to drive long-term success. Rafi joins from City Football Group, where he spent more than a decade in senior roles across a global football model. And he's coming in as Director of Football Transaction. Oh, sorry, that's where he was there. He was Director of Football Transactions. From what I read before, again, not sure if this is accurate, but I read that was just a lot of check signing, making sure that all of the I's and the T's were dotted on the contracts, which, for what it's worth, would be quite useful given the shit show that transpired this morning or last night regarding the apparent sale of our guy Alejo Veliz. I don't know if you guys heard this one. Just brief little side note here, but Alejo Veliz was subject to leaving Tottenham on a permanent, going to joining Bahia, who's part of the City Football Group, funnily enough. And he's currently on loan at his former club, whose name escapes me off the top of my head right now. And the deal was all parties were happy for it. And then they looked into the contract and realized that actually the break clause on Rosario Central, Rosario Central had him on loan, and there was a break clause in there pending. And we could break the loan deal if Alejo Veliz had not played more than 50% of the games so far this season. And of course he has. And so all the deals ready to go. But once again, Tottenham have dropped the ball by not reading the fine print that Rosario Central are under no obligation apparently to release him from his loan. And so it's now going to cost some money to Rosario Central to break the clause, which again comes down to stupidity and whoever it is that's signing these contracts. So to get back to the point, Rafi Moerson apparently was the Director of Football Transactions. He's now coming in at Tottenham, and I'm not sure what role he's going to play, but Director Johan Lang said, we are delighted to welcome Rafi to the club in the newly created Director of Football Operations. He was the outstanding candidate from a highly competitive process and brings a wealth of experience in the critical area of football operation. His appointment is an important step as we continue to strengthen our football structure and support long-term success. Same questions, boys. Obviously, this is replacing. Maybe it was intended regardless of whether or not Paratici was still here. He sits underneath Johan Lang now in the hierarchy. Ash, I'll start with you on this one, mate. Do you know much about this guy, Rafi?
No, I don't. But I was hoping that he would come in and he would be the boss for Langer, because we need some experience in terms of speed of transfers, and just getting that job done. So I was looking at him, hoping he'd be the boss for him, but I'm not too sure if it might be the other way around.
It is, yeah. He reports into Lang. So
yeah. So like for me, it's just like, right, if you're reporting to Lang, I don't have much optimism about it. I do know at City he was involved with the contracts, meaning that I think when he was around, he did deal with Haaland's contract.
That's right. Yeah,
getting out his wages and down to performances. I think that's how they do it. They kind of look at performances and they've got like a wage structure, but then if you perform at a certain rate, you get paid accordingly. So you get paid on bonuses, a bit like what Levy used to do as well. So I think he's coming from a similar model. But yeah, in terms of experience past City, I know he's done work in the City group. I think it was for the Bulls. I think it was a different sport. I can't remember the sport it was, but yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not this obviously a new era, and we're trying to decompartmentalize so many jobs that Levy used to do. Levy used to do everything. He was like a control freak, and now there's all these like job opportunities coming around, football operations, similar to what Scott Munn was doing. They were saying something about he's going to be in charge of the women's team, from what I understand. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's just we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see to see if there's any difference in terms of our transfers coming into maybe not this season, the following season, because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Paratici, I know they said like, goodbye and whatnot, but he's still hanging around until the end of January he leaves, right?
Correct.
So yeah, for me it's a bit of nothing. Do you know what I mean? We'll have to wait until summer. I know, like maybe, all right, cool, boom. If I'm looking at the actual, our tours when we go on tour, like to Australia or whatever, or China or Korea, no, he will be in charge of those type of things, from what I understand. But yeah, other than that, I don't really care, bro. I'll be honest with you. I don't care.
Yeah, no, I hear that, mate. I hear that. It does. It seems like there's a hell of a lot of noise about things that isn't really of interest to Tottenham fans right now. Yeah. Stella, I'll come to you, mate. You weren't too over the moon with the last big name signing, Heitinga. What about this guy? Any news? Any insight on him?
I don't know much about this guy. I'm not going to pretend I do. I'll talk about things I know about, stuff I don't know about. I'll just say that it's another body, it's another suit, it's another corporate maneuver. I'm with Ash on this one. I'm just not really that fast. I went on LinkedIn. I looked at his LinkedIn profile. He was a pretty good sales manager. He's quite young. He only graduated about 10 years ago. So I think he's still in his 20s, maybe early 30s. So he's a very young guy to be given such a senior role. Maybe because he's good with the digital and he's good with the online stuff, which is where they want us to be more when it comes to money making. I don't know. My feeling, and it's no knowledge on the area, my feeling is he's come in for financial reasons, not for footballing reasons as much. So whatever.
Yeah, Luba, I'll tell you what, I was having a chat with my old man today about this, and he's experienced similar things to what I have in the corporate gigs over my career and his career, that there's often a lot of pillowing that goes on. You get like a layer of talent at one role, and then you get someone in between the next layer of talent as like a shield, like a pillow of protection, so that the guy coming up doesn't necessarily, sort of catch the coattails or gets a little bit too big for his boots too soon. There's often a lot of unnecessary layers of sort of where there's an absence of value, but it's just usually the way it goes on the ladder to make sure that people that have got value are protected from those that are coming up. And I don't know if this is another example of that. This guy might be awesome. I've got no idea. Obviously, very well thought of at City Football Group. But then so was Scott Munn, for what it's worth. He come from City Football Group, and we didn't hear anything from him either for the 2 years or whatever he was here. Are you excited about this guy, Lubo? You done any research on him?
No, I've just read what everyone else has read. What are his skill sets? Nobody knows what his skill sets are.
Sales.
And for me,
admin. I think he's an admin guy.
Well, what we need is a football expert at the top of the football pyramid. That's what this club needs. We don't need another suit. That's all crap. To me, it's just a nonsense. You don't need an in-between type of person either. If you've got talented people, you let them flourish. you encourage them. You take their performance onto another level. You don't have somebody in between, maybe Sean, who's going to dull it down. If somebody's good, just you don't squash that exuberance, that personality. And for me, we need someone at the top who understands football. There's no one on the board that knows football particularly. Nobody. So what are we doing here? This is another waste of time. What are they doing? If he's that good, why is he answering to Lange? I don't get it. I don't get it. Unless he's, if he's meant to be an admin person, why is he answering to Lange, who's a director of football? Make sense.
Can't we just use AI instead? Isn't it cheaper? Just give the admin to AI.
It just seems just a mess. There's nothing coherent about the strategy there. It's
middle management. That's what it is, boys.
Middle management, exactly. Middle management. 100%. But listen, we will wish him the best of luck as well. On behalf of the Spurs Five, let me say, disregard our relatively lukewarm. No, not been a positive start to the show in terms of these guys. If they're dialed in, let's see what the fans think about this. Oh God. We wish you well, boys. We wish you well. Good luck. Do your best, and we'll see you. We'll see you on the way out in about a year's time when there's another.
I think he's got a master's. I don't know. That helps.
The thing is, right? Beat West Ham tomorrow. Conor Gallagher's going to get put on a different level. The new coach is going to be boosted. Cool. Yeah. Lose to West Ham, get this coach out. Conor Gallagher's away. So that's how it works, right?
That is how it works. That is how it works. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Listen, guys, we've got another guest coming in. Let's find out who it could be. Who could it be? Who could it be? Please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. The man, the myth, the legend. That is, of course, Mr. Billy T. How are you, Billy? Good to see you.
I'm very good, guys. How's it going? Lovely to see you. Loving the scarf, Lubo.
Where's yours, Billy?
Here, I'll get it on.
Oh, there you go. The picture's about to fall off.
Forget the picture.
Good to see you, mate. Good to see you. Look, it's a perfect time for Billy to arrive because I know Billy obviously is here to talk a little bit about the Tottenham, the change for Tottenham thing that's coming up on the weekend. But I do want to just quickly pivot. And Billy, I know, listen, you've got you've this like the change for Tottenham side and there's the Tottenham Hotspur Supporters Trust. And I know you guys are trying to build bridges and everything, but I have to call it out. Call it out when I see it. I called out the man next to me, this guy, for his absolute waffle with his 7-point manifesto of absolute pointing out the bleeding obvious of bare minimum expectations around ideal outcomes. But I'll tell you what, mate, Lubo, they're doing you out of a job because the Tottenham Supporters Trust today have shrunk your 7-point manifesto of outcomes into. Let me finish.
It's not in the same league. Sean, it's a poor man's Lubo. I'll tell you, it really is. Poor man's Lubo.
So the Tottenham Hotspur Supporters Trust, the THST, have come out with their 5-point manifesto. Why do in 7 what you can do in 5 of what they expect? And it says, like many fans, we are concerned about the club's current performance and position, which leads to questions about its stewardship, priorities, alignment with supporter expectations. We have outlined key principles, the facets that fans have the right to expect from the current and future owners of Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. Point number 1, commit to winning. Okay. Invest in the level needed to secure league and cup success. Point number 2, attract and retain talent. Build a transfer policy and competitive wages to secure top players. Point number 3, future-proof success by developing elite youth talent to strengthen the squad and sustain excellence. Point number 4, lead with integrity, champion ethical standards, strong governance and financial sustainability, reinvesting in the team while keeping tickets affordable. And point number 5, the last point of their 5-point manifesto, is to put the fans first. Engage, consult and collaborate with supporters and their representatives to build loyalty, passion and success on and off the pitch. You would think if they want the club to put the fans first, then they would put the fans first on the first point of their 5-point manifesto. It says these principles will shape our campaigning efforts and hold the club to account. I don't think I've ever seen more unnecessary words on a little social media graphic in my life. But Lubo, you are the man who has all the experience in writing down waffle. What's your thoughts on that one, mate?
All they had to do was give me a call. I'm sure they've seen me on the show, on various shows. That is a poor, seriously, that is just, it's rubbish. It's rubbish. This is what they should have actually said, because this covers everything that English did wrong, all the basics that they failed to grasp for 25 years. So, come on, guys. The trust have got up their game. And I'm a member of the trust. All they had to do was put it on the, contact me. They got all my details. Got to do better than that, boys. Come on.
Listen, I don't want to be too harsh on them because I don't know what exactly they're supposed to be doing. I still don't really know what their role is, but I just find all that stuff just
they do a lot of good. Sean, they do a lot of good.
Okay.
They do a lot of good.
Fair enough. But I just find those sorts of things for me, I just find them so cringy. Billy, I'll come to you, mate. I know you're obviously here to champion the the Change for Tottenham thing, which we'll come to in a minute. But just on the supporters trust thing, what's your take on that, mate?
I think the positive about it is they do have, they have set up a meeting with the board and the executive board in 2 weeks' time. So I'm more interested to see the minutes of that and how that goes. Really, that's I think the most interesting thing about it is what are fans saying in the survey and what they're going to say. I hope, I imagine that the survey will capture the fact that fans are pissed off and disgruntled at the moment, and I hope they take that to the board and are really honest about it, because I think that's the good thing about all of this is that they have access to the board, which unfortunately is a very rare thing these days. So if anything good comes from it, I hope that the board get a bit of a truth awakening. I hope they don't sort of water it down and try and play nicey, because I imagine everyone who's answered that survey today, and I believe that they've had thousands of people that do it, is pissed off.
Yeah. Stel, I'll come to you, mate. I'm not sure what your relationship has been like with the THSD historically. Do you buy into these sorts of things, or do you sort of take it with the same style that I do, which is it's just a big nothing burgers of irrelevance?
I don't know them, but they know me. They came up to me in the street. Yeah, because when the Enoch Out protests were going on before Change for Tottenham, they came up to me in the street and I'm not going to share what we said. I could easily, but I won't. But they should stick to doing the good work they do for disabled fans that travel to away games and into Europe, helping with ticketing issues. Just focus on that. When it comes to the on-field stuff, the pitch, they need to just shut up. They haven't got a clue what they're doing. They're not an inclusive organisation. They're exclusive. You have to pay to have a voice. When you have to pay to have a voice, it's not inclusive, so it doesn't represent the fan base. It represents people that want to pay them. And it's a very politicised organisation. And when I started football, I was taught keep politics and race and religion out of the game. And when you bring those in, you're not football anymore. So for me, that manifesto, whatever you call it, it's basic. We must win. We must not concede. We must turn up on match days. Shut up. Just if you're going to have points, get into the details. Speak to football people. So, for example, how's about we want a policy on the academy that encourages a pathway for players to progress into the first team, i.e. limit how much money we can spend on youngsters for the first team, i.e. Odeberts, Tells, Bergvalls, Archie Grays, therefore keeping the pathway open for the academy players. And if they had policy around things like that, I'd say, right, now you're talking football. This makes sense to me. They should talk about setting the goals of the club as one of their criteria. What is the goals of the club? Is it to win the Premier League? Is it to win the Champions League? Is it to win the FA Cup? Is it to win all of those trophies? What's the time frame? Establish, goals, footballing.
Yeah. Or even on a financial level, like you could say things like, not just to be competitive.
Of course, you make it financial.
No, but within the realms of the financial stuff, and I'm serious. I think within the realms of the financial thing, just to say, be competitive with the transfer strategy and the wages. How about something more specific? Like, I don't know. I think someone mentioned it in the WhatsApp group today. try to stick within a certain standard deviation away from the average wage to turnover ratios of our competitors. At the moment, we're at 43%, 44%, whatever it is, but other teams are at, 60,
Yeah, sure.
something like that, to give, like, within the realms of reason, so that there's wiggle room to deviate where needs must, but like something more specific than just be competitive, try harder, work harder, try harder. It's
No, I agree with you. I think the point both of us are making is, how's about setting some measurable points, things that we can actually measure, so therefore we can hold someone accountable if those measurements haven't been met. Likewise, we can praise and promote and say, well done, when you do meet those measurements. But none of those things they've listed are measurable. So how does anyone... It's up to each individual. It's down to each and every individual fan to decide whether or not those targets have been met, because it's so open to how you perceive it, right? It needs to be measurable, in my view.
I agree, mate. I agree. Ash, thoughts, mate?
Yeah, man. It's just like ChatGPT, right? Be a 5-point manifesto. That's what I thought. I'll be dead real. Literally, like, that's what they did. They just literally copy and paste. There was no thought into it. And what I would like is if one of the guys from the trust, a bit like we've asked the members of the board, which we know it's not going to happen, come down and speak to the fans, speak to the real people, the match-going fans, get some communication, because what we're lacking is transparency. We don't know who wrote that or who's involved, or do you understand? I've got no kind of affiliation. I don't feel like that represents me as a fan, a match-going fan, or even a non-match-going fan, because there's international fans that watch the show and they think like my voice. I want my voice to be heard. So there's nothing in there thinking, like you guys were saying, it's measurable, tangible, something you can hold the board accountable to, in my opinion. So I think those things need to be met. And yeah, if they were to come on a show like this and we had like a conversation and then we had a point of reference, like Billy T's the point of reference for Change the Spurs. I don't really know who the leader or the face of the Tottenham Trust is. And like Stel was saying, it does feel very politicized. Do you know what I mean? It does feel like the club have handpicked these people and they're going to toe the company line almost. So if you're going to toe the company line, then you're not really for the people then. Do you understand? 100%. The working people, the people that have supported Spurs for generations, there's families that go and it's been passed down to their grandkids, their sons, etc. Like, where's all that? We need to have some of that, in my opinion. And right now, it doesn't feel organic.
Ash, the last guy that ran the trust, right, Martin Bugia, he was really good. He genuinely tried to do a lot of those things you say, but because of the structure of the trust, it's very difficult for him to implement these changes. So he ended up saying, look, I'm stepping down, let someone else have a crack at it. He was actually the right man, but the way it's structured, it's very difficult to change it. Very difficult. So they did have a guy that was good. I met him as well and I spoke to him, and he spoke no different to how we did, how we're doing. He was kind of, you could relate to him. But
the problem you've got with the trust is the problem you've got is that the club see them every 3 or every 6 months, and they have to work with the club and ensure that the club help them with certain subjects that they're working on, i.e. they're working on with them to get the discount for senior citizens reinstated the way it was previously. Just one. They work. I'm just trying to think if there are any more that stand out. Season ticket prices. They work on other things like working with the police regarding away fans in Europe. So there are lots of different things that they do. If they go head to head with a club, I mean, honestly, the stories I heard, the way Levy treated them was just disgusting. And I don't think he even turned up at 1 or 2 of the meetings either. He just let Donna Cullen get on with it at times. So if the club go head to head with them, they take the risk of being just kicked out. We're not going to see you. We're not going to help you. We're not going to give you any crumbs that you might be after. Which help the fans like all of us.
The club couldn't do that. it would be a political PR absolute disaster for them.
They don't care. Sure, they don't give a shit.
Just quickly, like so Connor's in the house saying principle. Like this, I'm not. So principles are never measurable. My business is one that is aim higher. What you need to is that the goals that underpin the principles. Yeah, but I'm not saying that the Tottenham Hotspur supporters trust should be identifying what the principles are. I'm saying that their goal is to make sure that the football club outline what their principles are. That they have the goals regarding that stuff. Like it's like who gives a shit whether the Tottenham Hotspur supporters trust think that the football club should be, looking after the youth and building a kind of conveyor belt of talent. That's irrelevant. Like Lubo, what you're saying is correct, that their job is to make sure that the facilitation of things like disabled access and all that stuff, like that's their role. But if they have a bridge towards the football club, they should be ensuring that the football club communicate those principles around what it is that they are doing that are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time-driven. I'm sure everyone who studied business has heard that SMARTER thing before, right? Like those things, and that's the supporters trust. If they are going to lean into their relationship, then that's what I would be expecting them to be pushing for the club to be communicating to us around what their principles are, what their goals are. And if, to your point, Lubo, if they're scared about doing that stuff because they don't want to burn bridges with the football club, then I think to Ash's point, he's absolutely bang on. Then they're not really a bridge that's worth listening to, because they're sitting there with their hands tied or their lips sealed around what they really think, because they don't want to burn bridges. Like that's not the role of the supporters trust. Is supposed to be the bridge, and that means communicating good things and bad and holding people to account within the football club. Surely.
Well, they've had meetings with Vinay, which is more than a lot of people can say. I don't know. I'd like to have a chat with them. I'd like to have a chat with them for them to change and amend that 5 point into a 7-point manifesto and do it properly, guys, because you want this.
Personal. I hear it.
Yeah. Do you know what, Lubo? That would be the darkest day in my Tottenham Hotspur career if all of a sudden I saw Lubo's 7-point manifesto actually etched in stone on the Tottenham Hotspur Supporters Trust website. I'm like, what are we doing here? The madness has spread.
It could be far worse, believe me. And these are all basics, but this is built around what the football club should do. Theirs is wider. They're talking about fans, aren't they, as well? So listen, guys, anybody watching from the trust, contact me. I'll email that over to you with pleasure. You want to take it into the club, and that maybe add yours. You can't. For
the love of God, don't. For the love of God, don't.
Here's a nice little incentive for you. Everyone to turn up on Saturdays. They will be standing with us on Saturday, so you'll be able to meet them in person. A couple of the members, a couple of members are going to be there. So bring the piece of paper, Lubo.
Mate,
let's hand it out. Let's hand it out on flyers.
Just get flyers.
Get yourself on Vistaprint right now after the show, Lubo. Get yourself giant A3 cards with Principle 1. Try harder. Principle 2. Do your best. Principle 3. Show ambition.
Number 4. Attack.
No, ambition. Ambition and commitment is number 1. Number 2 is put together proper strategies for the football club.
Number 3 is pass the ball.
Mate, it will look like a WWE crowd if we turn up with giant placards outside the stadium with Lubo's principles written all over them. Anyway, talking about the Change for Tottenham protest, Billy, of course, you're here, mate. Big up to you. Great to see you again, mate. Where would you like to go? Obviously, it starts at 2 p.m. on Saturday, right? So what's the I think people were asking in the chat, can you outline exactly what the protest is, what we're trying to achieve this time, and all the details, mate?
Yeah, of course, mate. And, I think it's important to, so one of our strategies, obviously, is to be a sort of representative of the fans and the way that the fans are feeling at the moment. And I think the mood among the fan base is absolutely rock bottom at the moment. I think you only have to go on, any kind of social media shows like this. Everyone's angry with the fact that we find ourselves in another crisis. So we've decided to take action against the board, and that'll be on Saturday at 2:00. And the reason why we're protesting is we want to put pressure on the board. We want to provide a platform to show the board that what's happened at the moment is not good enough. I speak on the day. We've had another couple of different appointments. We've had more appointments than players come in January so far. Yeah, we had the Conor Gallagher signing, but that's sort of only really replacing Bentancur. So this process is for fans to get together and show that they're not accepting what's going on at the moment. We promised so much in the summer, been delivered very little again. So we'll be meeting at 2:00 outside the Corner Pin pub. I'd love to see loads of people there. We've had really good support from shows such as yourself, which I'm really grateful for, and looking forward to Saturday.
Yeah, looking forward to it. I think there's is there just quickly, there's nothing that you said, I think we spoke last time, you said that there was nothing at the moment booked for inside the stadium apart from the pre-game thing, right?
Pre-game thing. Yeah. And we're going to, at 2:30, we're then going to head into the stadium together, continue the noise inside the stadium too, and then go from there. So yeah, we're going to meet at 2:00, head into the stadium at 2:30. The reason why we're meeting at 2:00 is because lots of people want to attend who aren't attending the match. So that's open to everybody. Should be a really good day, and really grateful for all the support from everyone.
Is there going to be scarves available? I know Stell's been saving up his pocket money to buy or to give out a few scarves. What's the outcome on that? What's the situation?
There are scarves definitely available. Yeah, the scarf sellers will be there. They're not affiliated with CFT. We don't get any money from them or anything like that. But they're an independent seller. But they are going to be there. They are definitely going to be there I think they're going to be there from 12 actually outside the Corner Pin pub. If you want a scarf or a badge, they'll be there. And we're encouraging people to wear yellow, like myself and Lubin right now, and scarves will be available for anyone that wants one.
Yeah, make sure everyone who's watching this don't necessarily get your money out, because Stelios did promise on Monday's show. Was it Monday or was it last Thursday that he's been saving up for weeks and weeks and weeks. Everyone who watches this show, if you find Stelios, he is going to give you a scarf. That's right, Stel, right?
Not quite.
Oh, okay.
The money I generated on super chats that you guys are going to give me would go towards the scarf fund, and there were specific fans I was going to give them to. Not
okay.
Just in case, because I don't know what's going to happen on Saturday. But if 3,000 people turn up, please don't all come to me expecting me to drop $3,000.
Monday morning, it's going to be Stelios Scarves Limited.
Yeah.
Going to voluntary administration.
I'm going to be getting emergency alerts from Barclays and Amex and whoever else I bank with. Like, is this transaction legit? What's going on?
What is going on here?
£600 on scarves. Like, yeah.
I think that's a flip flop. There on the promise from last show. I mean, I have to play the jingle.
There. Billy needs to sort out a mates rate bulk discount.
Yeah, of course. Discount 10% off if you use code 5 on the scarves.
There you go. Nice. Very, very good. Very good. Ash, I haven't heard your take on the change for Tottenham process. First of all, are you going to the game on Saturday, mate? And either way,
I'm not going to the. I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna go to the game, but I'm not going to the game. If that makes sense, I'm gonna go down there. I'm gonna try and get down on Saturday, 2:00, and show some support, man. Show some support. I've tried to make that day as free as possible so I can get down. I've tried to go before and I've missed the meetup point. The last one I went to go, I was like, right, where are they meeting? And I met up with a couple of lads. I just went to the pub, man, had a few drinks. But yeah, this time I'm trying to get there a little bit earlier to make sure I'm in the right spot to get down and show some support, man. But
so you're fully on board. There's no, so you're part of the kind of ENIC out movement as well. You'd like them to move on, sell the club.
So all right, cool. For me, I was saying this on my show. I was like, trying to get across, like, I thought everyone was on board on my show, but there was a few people that were like, wait, what is the protest about? And I was saying, look, people are fed up, we've had enough, XY. But they were asking, they were like, is it a Frank out protest or is it an ENIC out protest? Because a lot of the people aren't happy with Frank and they kind of want Ange back. And so basically, it's a Frank out protest. It's not really an ENIC protest. And I was like, no. They're not happy with ENIC because obviously, like, ENIC's been there for 25 years, whatnot. And then the counterpoint to that was, well, they've only been, and obviously my show was on Monday, they've only had one window. Well, not really. They've only had like 13 to 14 days of a window. Surely you wait to the end of the window to kind of judge it before having a protest. And I was like, yeah, but at the same time, you kind of need to put the pressure on, because we don't know, for example, if that we might not get no signings through. And this is before Conor Gallagher came, obviously. And we were only linked to the Brazilian kids, the 17, 18-year-olds. So I was like, there's no reassurances that we get anything done, and history could repeat itself. So I think that's why. But obviously, I thought Marlon was going to call Billy on the show to answer some of these questions, innit? So I kind of stored that in my head, thinking, right, let me ask Billy now to kind of clarify it. It's not a Frank out protest; it's a Enoch out protest. And do you think that's fair? Like, people are saying that, oh, you need the whole window before you judge them. Do you need a January and a summer window to judge them? I think you need to be doing protests continually, in my opinion, just to keep the pressure up. But yeah, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, firstly, I think we, exactly all the things that you said there is what we would answer as well. So this specific protest and change for Tottenham is always about board and Enoch. It's designed to sort of criticise the club at board level, change for Tottenham. Loads of my members, like myself, and loads of our members, I'm fed up with Frank. I want a different manager, but that's not what these protests are about. It's about a wider level of that, and it's sort of about a board level protest. So that's definitely true. And then in terms of when the protesting, we've had lots of conversations about that. Well, should you wait till the end? The problem is, if you wait to the end and you make your voices heard, it's not good enough or whatever, then there's no time to act until the next summer transfer window. Whereas hopefully, if you sort of show you're angry in January, it might put the pressure on to try and do something while they still can. There's still plenty of days left in the window to try and turn it around. And hopefully, a lot of disgruntled fans will show the board that they're going to have to do something this January, because we're in a crisis right now. We're still in 14th. We're out the FA Cup, we're out the League Cup, dwindling, and we've got difficult ties of the Champions League, and then probably a playoff as well. They have to turn it around really, really quickly. And so far, we haven't really seen the ambition in January. We've made an okay signing in Conor Gallagher, definitely. But we need to do a lot more, especially news come out today. Charlton's injured for 7 weeks now.
Yeah, 100%. So you want Frank out right now, this moment? Like, you want him sacked tonight?
Tonight. Yeah.
So I think like the counter to that. I think the counter for that for some people are like saying, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna have Heitinga, the guy we just got in? Is he gonna?
I think that's probably why he's appointed. Yeah. No, I think I think it'll be here till summer, regardless. To be honest, Frank, I don't think there's any way to get rid of him now.
But you'd be happy for him, like the new coach, to come in and hold the fort down until the end of the window, because realistically, like you said, summer is a better pool of managers. Like, everyone will be done from the World Cup. We could pick from Nagelsmann, Tuchel could be free. Do you know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, I'm at the point now. I can't see I can get much worse than what we're seeing at the moment. I think any entrant coming in, just get some playing attacking football till summer, then go and get Poch or Nagelsmann or Alonso, something like that would be a dream.
Yeah. Let me just, before we move on to other topics then around Thomas Frank and other things. So just to finish off the change for Tottenham, then, Billy. So it's this Saturday 2 p.m. outside the Beavertown pub, yeah.
Yep, that's correct. Outside the corner PM on the corner of Park Lane, you'll see right by the stadium, outside number 8, that kind of area, 2:00 on Saturday.
Amazing, mate. Stay there. And I haven't done I'm sort of doing these super chats out of order, but I just wanted to call this one up right now because Super Spurs Blaine, mate. There's another whopper of a super chat that you put in before that, which is about. I think it's also about the Tottenham Hotspur Supporters Trust. So I'll do those two super chats, and then the other things going on, I think I'll bring them up a little bit later on. But I just want to say massive thank you to you, Blaine. He says, as I can't be there, here's a kitty for a few scarves, lads. Best of luck. Big up to you, Stel. No excuses now, mate. You are a scarf seller on Saturday, Stel. That's the like you.
This money needs to be fed in to the factory pot, not your pockets.
It's there, mate. It's there. The money's there. We'll figure it out later. You go
to Spurs. You go to Spurs.
Yes. They'll pay it, and I'll chase you up.
30 days vendor notice. That's what you call. What do you call? What's that phrase in business, Lubo? When you you pay up front and then you wait for the vendor to hand the money back to you later on.
Bad debt. Pro forma.
Listen, pro forma. There we go.
Never mind the Spurs shop and their discounts. Come to Spurs, you get a scarf and a manifesto all in one hit.
Big up to you, Blaine. So generous, mate. So generous. It's a shame you won't be there, mate. We're looking forward to seeing you when you finally get your first home game. I think it's a City game. I think I'm looking forward to seeing you then, mate. Big up to you, mate. So very generous. And Justin Lilywhite has also thrown in some money for the fund as well. Big up to you, Justin. Very, very cool of you as well, mate. There you go, Stel. You're going to be spending all day Saturday. No chance to communicate. No chance to engage with the fans. You're just the scarf guy. You are still the scarf guy.
We need to go through the super chats on Monday as well for the Scarf Fund donations as well. There's probably about 70, 80 quid there now.
Yeah, we'll get it. We'll figure it out. Thank you so much, guys. Just quickly as well, this is Blaine's other one talking about this THST. I guess this is what this is. He says, mate, again, super generous. He says, evening, lads. I hope you're good. Question, the fan forums hosted by the chair, are they properly diversified with season ticket holders? I'd like to see open forum, proper feedback sessions, not hand-picked questions. I have no idea about any of this stuff. Lubo, you're the man to ask about this, aren't you?
I am. I never get an invite.
When you used to go to the other things, you'd ask your unpicked questions, and you got turned down as an offer to help them rebuild the Spurs shop.
That was about 22 years ago, Sean.
And you never got over it. You never got over it.
I'm going to tell you, I must say that I went to the first one many moons ago, and since I've become quite vociferous on social media with Enoch out, people like myself and Billy Cairns, we go in for every ballot. We never get picked out. People like myself don't get picked. The Enoch outs, the Enoch in, Levy in people, they get picked. You've got to hand in your questions beforehand. It's a farce. Nobody gets asked a difficult question, and it's all hand-picked people, which is an absolute joke. It's absolutely pointless, and Levy stood up and said, we've got our Tottenham back. Well, we bloody have now, haven't we? Because you picked us up in 2000 and we're back there again. So I suppose he told the truth at the last forum that he was on. But no, true fans don't get selected. It's handpicked, just like the person who, for the fans board, was it? I'm trying to think the name. It escapes you for the minute. Where you had to vote somebody in for men's season ticket holders, women's season ticket.
The fan advisory board, the FAB.
Fan advisory board. That's right.
Yeah.
Someone I know actually won. She won. She got. There were 5 people that were in the vote. She got 60%. Somebody made a complaint about her that was very unfair, and Donna Cullen took her out and put the guy in who's Rots, ROTS, and he got invited for. The whole thing's a farce. It's a complete farce. When are they ever going to do something properly? And hopefully, we all hoped with Vinay joining that maybe these sort of things would stop, because the fans, for me, have never been treated correctly. The communication with the fans has been utter shite for many years, and it's about time that somebody. I mean, I'll just give you an example.
When Romero tried to call it out, you had an issue with it.
It's different for employees, Stealth. Different for employees, mate.
This is exactly what they did to me on Monday. This is unbelievable. This is.
No, it's not. They're two different things. They're two different things.
I'm calling them all out, man. When Romero called them out, because no one upstairs spoke, you got in on Romero, and I said he's speaking because no one upstairs talks, and now you're moaning that no one upstairs talks.
He's an employee.
He's an employee. Must say it. Palamine, who I go to football with.
No to whistleblowers. Sorry, go on.
No to whistleblowers. I'll just give you an example. Just sort of steering back to how the fans are treated. Palamine, I go to football with, season ticket holder, 50 years. Got to senior citizen age, put in for a seat with a discount behind the goal. Got told no. For no reason, just got told no. Can't do it. Appealed to the club. 3 months they ignored him. As soon as his son got on social media and complained, he got a call back that afternoon. The son got a call back that afternoon. because it was all over social media. And he ended up getting his seat the following year. He had to pay for the first year that he was a senior citizen. There was no movement on that, and they moved in the second year. So, why not do the right thing at the right time before the rules got changed? It's just completely wrong. And the fans have never been treated with the respect that they deserve at this club.
Lubo, can I ask you the same question asked on Monday, right? If the players aren't allowed to call this out and the owners aren't listening to the fans when we call it out, who on earth is supposed to speak then? Because we're not hearing it from the board.
Well, this is why
the moan continues to happen.
The supporters trust. They're the ones that are supposed to do that sort of thing.
But still, this is where the protest we're having Saturday is so important, and it's so important. This is big. This is massive. Fans should be turning up and letting their voice be heard. There's no point everybody moaning on social media, and then when it comes to a protest, nobody turns up. What's the point? Yeah, the club.
We had this conversation before, that Lubo. I genuinely think that people that will spend all their time, we go on, Ash's channel, my channel, Stell's channel, Lubo, you go around, around the houses, Sabbath's channel, etc. There's the same names of people that you see every day, right? That are working from home, that listen to Tottenham content all day long. Those people are so committed to listening they love their club and they're so invested in it. They might not necessarily live in Tottenham. They might live in Timbuktu, but there's a higher degree of passion with the people that spend most of or more of their free time listening to bozos like us, talk about the things that we talk about. Whereas you go to the game, and I think of the 60,000, maybe there's, 5%, 10%, whatever the number is. It's not an insignificant percentage, but it's certainly not the majority of people that watch or spend all day long listening to YouTube, or spend all day long on Twitter or on Facebook or on listening to podcasts. A lot of them are just like, they support their team, but when the game's done, they'll go home and get on with their life. So I don't necessarily think that what you see, the venom and the ferocity and the passion that you see in the chats and in the various social forums, I don't think it's necessarily represented by the people that attend the games.
Yeah, but Sean, you get thousands and thousands last season chanting "Levy out." You this season, there's more than the number of people that go to the protest inside the stadium, all going "boo, boo" after the game.
But they're booing the manager or they're booing the football. They're not necessarily booing the club.
Whatever they're booing, they want change. They've had enough, and that's what change for Tottenham is, isn't it? Change. Well, Ash asked a good question. What does the change mean? But it's down to each individual. Like for me, change is I just want the owners gone. I want them out. That's my version. But I know I'm not.
Yeah, but I know that I had a the first time I ever
different like that. I get it.
First time ever I had Billy on my channel last year. I said to him, what does change for Tottenham mean? And he said it can mean anything to anyone. And I said, yeah, but on your website, it literally says we want to change the ownership. We want to change the chairman. I was like, so if you're casting a broad net to try to include thousands and thousands of people because change can mean anything, but ultimately, or every single person that's in the 10 that run the organization want the same thing, which is change to them means a change of ownership, then I didn't want to go as far as to say it was disingenuous or whatever, but I felt at the time like it was a bit of a bait and switch. Like it was trying to capture more people through the broad sweeping brush of change can mean anything. But really that would then be utilized to say, look, there's 10,000 or there's 20,000 or there's 50,000 people here. They all want the owners out. But in reality, if you're saying that it's not though, is it? Like it might be change for Tottenham, but I think everybody knows what the protests really mean. I think everybody who follows the change for Tottenham protest really
people got different motivations. I think is what Stel was trying to say. Like,
yeah, if you're someone that's booing at the game because you're pissed off with the style of football that Thomas Frank has implemented, and you're pissed off with the performance over the last couple of years, but you're not necessarily pissed off with the ownership because you think that these players are good enough to do better, or you just don't like the style of football, but ultimately you think the ownership have done a relatively good job in building a lovely stadium and that they're competing amongst a world of where the rules are not necessarily made for purpose and yada, 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 then they're not necessarily, like, just because you hear someone booing doesn't mean they're booing for the same reasons you're booing.
Sean, if I'm really brutally honest with you, change for Tottenham, in my opinion, is a rebranded version of Levy out, Enoch out. Levy out, Enoch out didn't take off because it got a bad name because too many YouTube channels were against it, and because I was a participant of it, and I was very, very, very loud about my views on it and telling other fans, listen, if you want change, then you need to fight for it. And if not, then, you know, you're complicit. And a lot of people didn't like hearing that. So the whole leave out, Enoch out never really took off. But there was so many more fans that wanted to participate, but they didn't want to tell anyone that, yeah, I actually joined that leave out, Enoch out lot. So when Change for Tottenham came along, they're like, okay, I can go to that, because although the names are different, it was the same thing, but now finally people were open to go to it. So
there's people within the chat, there's people on Twitter that message me that were part of your leave out group who don't go to the Change for Tottenham thing.
Okay, so I'd like to see those names to verify that.
I'll send you one after.
It wasn't my group. The guys that started it, I just backed it. Me, Brian, we were the first YouTubers to jump and back that lot, and then a few more jumped on. Ash came on board, Phil P, okay, and so on, Lubo. But the reality for me is this: at the last big protest, when we walked down the high street, that big march, every scarf in the air said Enoch out, leave out, not Ange out, not better transfer policy, not change your style. It was Enoch out, leave out. And it was an ocean of yellow. The same scarf Lubo's got now. So for me, the majority that go to the protests are fed up with the owners, in my opinion.
100%. Yeah, but the point I was making was when I was saying that the ferocity, the uproar, the anger that existed and has existed for a long time. Trust me, I felt it because I wasn't particularly part of the leave out at all. I was always balanced about it. I didn't think that the owners did as bad a job as a lot of people did, and certainly not Daniel Levy. But in the on the online space, my point is that there's a lot of people that don't live anywhere near Tottenham that are angry about the ownership, but they can't be at the protests, right? But the people that go to the game, of the 60,000, not all of them are going to be people that watch us or that go onto the social space, because they just don't have the time, the inclination, or the interest to spend their time watching Tottenham fans talk about Tottenham. And so it's hard to define what percentage of the people that are in the stadium would naturally be a part of the protests. And just because some people boo in the stadium, it doesn't mean that they're booing for the same reasons that you are. So if you
see, Sean, for me, I know a lot of the anger is directed at the owners, and I'll tell you why. Because in the last 6 years, we've gone through more managers than we did in the previous 15 years. In the last 6 years, we've had more different types of managers, no continuity, that disrupted the philosophy than we've ever seen. And the transfer policy just didn't make sense. So, and we've spent more money than we've ever spent creating this catastrophe. So much happened in 6 years that those decisions are boardroom decisions.
Sure.
A lot of these were, that's why I believe the majority were like, that's it, I'm done with the owners, I'm done with the chairman. Not
then why if there's 10,000 people that booed after when was the last shit show performance?
I'm not saying they all booed because of that. I think
we have this conversation a lot, right? Like you believe that the people in the stadium are willing to boo, but they're not willing to protest. And I'm saying,
correct.
And you're scratching your head going, why is it that it's not like they're going out of the way? The protest is right outside the stadium. They're going to the game anyway. Stand with, stand. We're still trying to figure out why it is that there's 2,000 people at its peak that protested, but in the stadium there's more than 2,000 people week in, week out that boo if we have a bad result. So we're still trying to figure out why it is that those people don't protest. And I'm suggesting that maybe the people that are booing, they're booing the performance, not booing the ownership.
Yeah, there's that part. But I think there's some people that prefer to protest a certain way. Some people will protest in their seat. They're happy to do a protest. And you got to remember, it's a herd mentality. So I think when it's like they see hundreds of people doing it. I remember when I was with Stel, we were across the road. There was about, 25 of us, if that, across the road. People were just
30
if that 30 odd. People were just looking at us like, what are you lot doing? People were just looking. Do you know what I'm saying? And because the number wasn't
in front of me.
I felt like I was in a zoo. I'm gonna lie. I felt like I was in a glass cage, and people were just like, "What are these guys doing? These nutters." Do you know what I'm saying? So I feel like there's very few people that are radical or strong enough, like mentally, to kind of speak their mind and stand on business. Do you understand? A lot of people need to see someone else do it, And if someone else does it, they think, oh, I might not get arrested, or I might not get in trouble, or I might not get, do you know what I mean? Someone might not judge me, because that's what it is. It's all about people dealing with their own insecurities. I know I'm going up deep on that level, but like in the stadium, you're going to watch a team, and then when we lose, it's like, you know what, I've had enough. Boo. You might see your mate, or you might see someone next to you booing. You're going to join in booing. But you've seen it in stadiums as well. You've seen it, like someone might be like, they might say something, and then someone else turns around and says, "What are you talking about? Support the club."
It's the same way. It's the same. It's the same with trying to get a song started, right? Like everyone, you kind of go, "Where's the atmosphere? Go on, then sing a song," and then someone finally gets the Stones up to go, "Come on, you Spurs," and you try it like once, and if it doesn't catch on immediately, you go back into your shell.
Whole confidence is shattered. Exactly. So people have that, and it applies to the.
When you get it going. When you get it going, when you start it and it actually kicks off, you are like you're like 10 foot tall for the rest of the week.
100%. But people do have that in their head. They've got that little doubt, that small voice in their head, and they need someone else to be the leader to kind of follow, because they're not strong enough themselves. They haven't got a big enough person. Or do you know what I mean? It's just easier to sit in your seat, and then everyone else starts booing, and you boo, and you kind of join in, as opposed to going out on a march and having intention. Do you know what I'm saying? Working with purpose, like.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I think that's a good point. I think that's a really good point. As Stell's put up on the screen there, guys, please do smash the like. Don't forget to subscribe as well. Here's the link for Ashmatic's channel, by the way, guys. Please do support the guys that come on Spurs Kings TV. Wonderful channel, him and Mar. I think Marlon's coming on as well in a couple of weeks, isn't he, Lubo? At some point.
I'm meant to tell everyone. It's meant to be a secret.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Sorry.
These two can't keep a secret. They can't keep a secret.
We've got BT coming on next week as well.
It'll be like ring on the bell, and all the viewers will be screaming, "Marlon!"
Yeah,
exactly.
Sorry, giving the game away. Guys, I want to ask you guys about this. Sorry, Luke, but I didn't give you final thoughts, mate, on the CFT, or sorry, on the protest generally. Have you said your piece, or?
I just hope that people will just give it 15, 20 minutes of your time before you go in the grounds.
Yeah.
Because surely, listen, as a Spurs fan, you want to be part of things that are great. It makes you happy. It gives you a buzz, doesn't it? When Spurs do well. How good did everybody feel after Bilbao? How good did everybody feel at the parade?
To be honest, mate, I felt terrible for about 3 or 4 days after Bilbao.
And we want, we all want more than that. And if by just give 15 minutes of your time, that's all.
Your manager.
That's all. That's all there is. You're there. Just come and join us. 15, 20 minutes, and then go in, but make your voice heard. Let them know that that people are unhappy with the way the club's been run for many, many years. So
listen, 2 p.m. guys. If you are going to the game, just go and show your face. Unless you fundamentally disagree with it, and then of course don't do what you got to do. But if you do think that the club needs a wake up call, then these things they can't hurt, can it? It really can't hurt. Big day for Conor Gallagher, guys, on Saturday. He's come out. He's fully coys. I've seen Chelsea fans around the YouTube space having meltdowns. There's a funny guy called CB. I've never met him or spoken to him, but I saw a video of him. He looked like he was about to cry. Gala, bro! Gala, backed you, bro! I backed you! You went to them! CB, is it? Yeah, CB. What an unbelievable meltdown from him. It was sensational to see. I love the passion, even though he's a Chelsea fan.
He's an entertainer.
Yeah, so so Conor Gallagher has officially signed, fully coys. And this is the first thing that Thomas Frank has said about the player. He said, I think he's a top signing. I can't praise Fabio and Vinay enough. The ownership for doing it and getting over the line. It went quick. What he brings in terms of abilities, first and foremost, he's a very good player. Great experience in the Premier League and La Liga. He's captained 2 teams, so the character, leadership, and experience, and he's still young at 25. This is the bit I don't like, though. Plenty of development to reach, but coming in on a good level, bringing his pressing abilities, directness, scoring goals, and also being able to find good positions on the pitch. Every single time Thomas Frank talks about the specific footballing abilities of a player in his team, the very first thing he focuses on is what the guy can do off the ball, not on it. Again, his pressing abilities. First thing he says, his pressing abilities. He did exactly the same thing when he was talking about Richarlison, who's our forward, when asked why it was that Richarlison was getting a continued run as a 9 and why it wasn't that why Muwani wasn't getting a run as a 9, or why Matthias Tell. He said, great player, but he has to, but Richarlison, his pressing ability, his work rate. I'm like, when is this guy going to focus on actually, like, it just, to me, it's like an insight into his priorities, which is being scared of what the opposition can do with the ball. And I need players that can make that difficult for them, rather than thinking and prioritizing what he can do with the ball. Now, I think Conor Gallagher is a great signing. I don't think he's necessarily the profile that we need, and he's not the ball-playing midfielder that we probably need, but I think he's better than what we have. But I certainly don't like the idea that every single player that we sign, the manager is picking them primarily because of what they can do off the ball, not what they can do on it. Ash, I'll come to you, mate. What's your sort of take on that, bud?
Yeah, Conor Gallagher for me has to play high up the pitch. It's as simple as that. By the way, that accent sounded like a love child between Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I get that a lot.
And
Daniel Farker as well in there.
Let's say, what's this? America and Trump. It sounded a bit like had a little bit of Trump.
He's gonna be great. He's gonna be fantastic.
But yeah, for me, Gallagher, he has to play higher up the pitch. He's got to play in that kind of 10/8 role rather than the 8/6 role, if that makes sense. So utilize them high up. I think he played better when he was at Palace, when he was playing off the striker and he was running in behind, box crashing, defending, winning duels. As the manager always says, he always wants duels. He wants a player that can run up and down, intensity, energy. He's going to give you all of those type of attributes. So yeah, the problem is Frank's very conservative. So if you're going to play Xavi, where does Gallagher play? And if you're going to play Gallagher, where does Xavi play? And now sometimes we've seen the manager put him on the left-hand side. And for me, I don't think Xavi should be played out on the left, or even Gallagher should be played out on the left. But there's a way he could do it, is if Paulinho or Basuma, because look, Basuma could come back in. I don't know. Basuma, it sounds like the manager's talking about Basuma is available and he's fit and all those things he said, man. It's a bit awkward. That's all I can say. But he could actually play a single pivot. He could play a 6. Remember, we're at home and it's West Ham, the worst team. So this game, he can actually play a single 6 by himself, Paulinho, and then have 2 attacking 8s. Yeah. And still you could still have a 4-3-3, if that makes sense. You could still have your Tell on the left or wherever on the left and Odebear on the right, and Muwani up top or Solanke up top. Do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, for me, Conor Gallagher has to play high up the pitch. You can't ask him to do the whole, as you said, building, taking the ball from the centre backs, full backs, and then progressing the ball. That's not really his skill set. Okay. He's quite conservative and he's not brave on the ball like that. He hasn't got the technical skill set. He hasn't got the scanning rate, like these players that like to get on the ball. They want to scan. Yeah, periphery vision is scan. He's not that type of player. He's more like old-fashioned, keep it simple. And he described himself being a jack of all trades. And I know you don't like that. You like specific. Is it specificity? I can't say the word.
Specificity, yeah. Well, no, I don't mind it. I don't mind jacks of all trades in certain positions, but I just think that in the midfield, I think you need, or at least the way the game has moved. For me personally, I think that the game's become robotic, and I think in order to kind of work around that, I think you do need some players that are like not jacks of all trade, but masters of one. Yes, specificity is the word I use, but yeah, essentially just individual players that do very good things very well. I think Paulinho is a player with specificity, right? He's very, very good at doing what he does, and he's not necessarily great at everything else.
Mm-hmm. Are you saying, Ash, just out of curiosity, because I've just come late, are you saying you'd like to see him play more in the role that he played at Palace, yeah?
Yeah, 100%. That was it. Like Pochettino as well. When he was at Chelsea, he played him more in the attacking role. He kind of allowed him to box crash, get further up, and he got the best out of Conor Gallagher in that last season. But like, under Poch, he had Caicedo, isn't it? So Caicedo.
Well, yeah.
He's a lot more technical.
Paulinho, I mean, this is what I'm saying now. Is Paulinho? It'd be interesting to see whether Paulinho is the guy that sits at the base, right?
Well, that's what I said at the start.
Yeah.
I said, let's have Paulinho there and I have 2 attacking 8s. Allow Xavi. Because look, the last game that we played against Aston Villa, whether we like it or not, and I think it was a reaction because we were 2 goals down. So naturally, we're going to be more attacking. So I'm not giving any credence or credit to Frank for that. But I did see shots from outside the box. And the only reason why I'm like, oh, shooting outside of the box, maybe that's a difference. Or is it the players? I don't care, whoever it is.
We were wondering.
I did see it in training. I saw a training clip and they were shooting outside the box. So I was thinking maybe that's something or a sign of things to come. I don't know if that's the hope in me or a bit of delusion, but yeah, in my head, just have 2 8s, man. 2 attacking 8s. It just makes sense, man.
Well, we saw Odegaard. Was it Odegaard had a shot from outside the box in like the first 20, 30 seconds? It was like, oh my God, what happened? Did someone just have a rush to the head?
Oh, they did say the fact the players got together, innit, at half time and they had their own conversation. So I don't know.
Isn't that another concern, though? Isn't that another concern that, like, when the players are getting themselves together to rally for a second half, that it's them that's the catalyst? You know, this doesn't seem to be, you know, a rarity. It feels like for the last 2 managers we've had, the players are the ones that get together and have to communicate some sort of ulterior plan than the one that the manager asks of them. Well,
it's no different to Real Madrid, where they just like bitch about the manager and just tell him to fuck off.
Yeah. How you doing, Johnny? Good to see you.
Yeah, all good. Sorry, I'm late. I left, not very popular, leaving halfway through the meal, but needs must.
What did you eat?
What
did you have to eat?
It was a very dodgy lasagna, which was then replaced by a Fiorentina pizza. Very nice indeed.
In honour of our departing DOF, yeah?
Yeah, had to leave. Tell me something. What's everyone making of the? I don't know if you've done the. Have you done the new assistant coach?
Yeah, we don't. We basically none of us really knew too much about him other than wish him well. But Stell said he's no good.
No, thumbs up. Awesome. Good luck.
I can't believe you're against it, Stell. It's so unlike you. And what about the Man City?
Unlike you to come on the show and start on me either, off the bat.
Oh, I mean, listen. I just wondered what I didn't say. I just wondered what the general consensus was on the new guy. You know,
really happy.
Wish him well. I think none of us. We don't really care. I think all we really care about right now is not about Rafi's or Johnny Heitingers. We care about whether or not a certain Samu Agahawa or Alex Garcia is going to come through the door and give us some options in our.
I've got to be honest. I was with Ash's camp. We were speaking the other day. I thought Cochrane might have been sort of promoted upwards, but what does that say about him?
Listen, he came in with like a great reputation. In the first couple of weeks, when I could see him doing things on the training, I was like, he's going to be special. I genuinely thought that. Read up about him, saw his England stuff, his Man United time, all this. I was like, we got a good one there. And ever since then, all I've ever seen is when things are going wrong, Thomas Frank is turning to the 3 of them in the dugout. He's talking, and Cochrane's just got a notepad out and just writing down what he's saying, like a bloody dictaphone or a parrot. I'm like, well, what's going on? Like, where's your contribution other than just being a receptionist or a secretary, essentially?
He's very highly rated within the England setup. So, the fact that, Brentford were very keen to keep hold of him, I thought this is great. In fact, the interesting thing was that everyone was so excited about all the Brentford staff that we managed to retain and keep. The only one that we didn't get was the guy who did all the attacking formations and the set pieces, which was Andrews. Yeah.
And look how well he's done so far.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
The thing is, when you come to Spurs, the dynamics change. It's very difficult for us to analyse a coach or a manager elsewhere and say, right, they'll do this at Spurs, because the Spurs environment is unique to any other Premier League role. We don't know what we are. Are we a big club or are we a small club? Should we be winning trophies or should we be happy with top 6? Does the stadium justify the history of the club, Look at the stadium, we should now be winning the Premier League. I think as a fan base, we're confused. And I've said this for many a time. I think a third of the fans prioritise winning trophies. A third of the fans prioritise entertainment, sexy football. And a third of the fan base just want an experience, a day out, one where they say, do you know what, that was fun. And because of that, it's very difficult for us to know how to please the fan base because everyone's pulling in different ways. I was delighted with Conte, whereas a lot of fans hated the football. Fans wanted Mourinho sacked. I wanted him to take that cup final. I was happy for Ange to start this season. Most fans wanted a different manager. Some fans are prepared to give Frank a chance. They've had enough already. So when you're a coach or a manager, you're coming into an environment that's very unique here. You could say Man United are like us now. I think Man United and Spurs, similar environments.
You're not wrong, Phil, but you know what? And
it affects the managers and the coaches in terms of...
Yeah, listen, you're bang on. But what I was going to say was, apart from Pep Guardiola and Arteta, what club, and maybe Emery, which fan base is happy with its manager or its staff? You go around the fan bases. I listening to Chelsea fan base at the moment. They're up in uproar about the appointment of the manager. Why wasn't John Terry given a chance? He was because he's not a yes man, right? That's the thing. Why is Carrick not going to be given a chance? He's been given a chance, but really he's not given a chance. And I think a lot of the clubs are unhappy. And I think this is, we talk about player power. I think very much so now. We've got private equity owner power and fan power that's getting in the way of maybe managers getting their time to actually do the job to prove that they are capable of, managing a team. I mean, looking at the old days, Alex Ferguson 100% would not be in his job in today's environment. And there's probably said that maybe Arteta wouldn't have been either.
Isn't it the manager's job to change the culture of the club, though?
It is. But listening to, again tonight about Maresca, when Maresca was trying to do his thing, and he was told to have the head of medical on the bench, and he will tell you when to make a substitution.
It's crazy.
And the head of medical tells him to make a substitution, whether it be Cole Palmer was the latest, and he ignored them. And then when he did make the substitution, he got booed by the crowd because they thought it was his mistake. And then he received, I'm told tonight, he received a letter from the authorities giving him a warning as to the fact that he hasn't listened to the guy who's been put on the bench to monitor his behaviour. That's undermining the manager. That's private equity bosses at Chelsea getting too ahead of themselves and getting too involved in football.
The thing is, Johnny, I've always said managers nowadays need to put credit in the bank. Arteta winning that FA Cup bought him time. Ferguson, he came from a very successful period with Aberdeen. In his second season at Man United, he finished second. So they bought themselves time. Jurgen Klopp, first season.
5 years, though. 5 years, wasn't it, Ferguson?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is in his second season, he put credit in the bank because he finished second in the league. Klopp in his first season at Liverpool got to 2 cup finals. So fans look at that, and probably owners as well, and say, do you know what? You've taken us a step forward. So if there is a step back, maybe they're more prepared to absorb it. Whereas at Spurs, Frank and this team so far, you feel like we haven't progressed.
So what has Frank got to do then to get credit in the bank right now?
And Ash, I personally feel if he came in and just was a bit more pro-risk in the attacking play and more adaptable in the attacking style, I'm not saying we would have won lots more games. What I'm saying is the intent would have been one where fans say, you know what, we like the intent. We get it. We're losing because some of these players are just crap and you don't have enough quality on the bench. I think it's the fact he's so defensive. This is what happened with Conte Mourinho. It was this defensive football. Our fan base just won't tolerate it.
You mean
maybe in 2 years' time, Frank is a more attacking manager. But the issue is when you're defensive and you're losing, I think the patience isn't there, partly because of Frank and partly because fans have just had enough. We've been through too much with all the other managers to give another manager the patience.
What would
That's
you do,
what
though?
I think it is. It's a combination.
What would happen now? It's interesting because I feel that if we were in the Europa League now and not the Champions League, our mental state as fans would be completely different.
Yeah,
because we still believe that we could do it. Because let's be honest, Bodo, Eintracht Frankfurt, and the final, all we did was defend, right? That's what we did. We had a really defensive setup, and we defended for our lives, and we had no possession.
But we won the game, Johnny, and that compensates.
I'm just saying. I understand that, but we've also been winning games in the Champions League, which I think we can all agree is of a higher level than that's in the Europa League. My point is, we have no belief that we can go on and do anything in the Champions League. Only someone who would be insane would think, well, we could. But I'm saying now, if we were in the same position as we were last year, and we were in the Europa League, I think we'd have a different mindset.
But this time last year, Johnny, we were in the semi-final of the Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
So it's a bit more than.
All right. So do you think then, if we played attacking football from, like, for example, West Ham, we managed to turn up against West Ham, turn them over, and then all of a sudden the players, the management, the staff, they believed that they could play this front-footed attacking style football, and we did a run in the Champions League. Do you think that would be enough? Like, because all right, Newcastle.
I think fans would.
Newcastle were behind us. They're currently 6th.
Correct.
I couldn't believe it. I'm like, what? Newcastle?
Yeah,
they were asking
2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, they were behind us. Right?
So this is what I'm asking.
It can change very, very quickly, Ash. Super quick. There's only 4 points between us and Chelsea, right?
Right. So what would it take? That's what I'm saying. Would it take the style of play to be on the front foot, attacking us, all of a sudden being 6th or 5th, and we can see that, maybe we could get Champions League football for fans to try to turn over?
The fans will be a little bit patient, though. I think if Tottenham play 90 minutes of good football, well, against West Ham, I think we have to play good football and win. Anything other than 3 points and a good performance.
Yeah, of course.
If we were to play against a better team coming up, and we've got a horrible February, but if we were to play a couple of in those teams in February, if we were to play 90 minutes of good football that was balanced, right? You can't expect to be front foot all the time, in any game. But if we played with patterns of play that looked like there was a desire to win the game, just not to lose it, and there were some good results, and then you started to see us climb the table a little bit. If we were back in, not necessarily 5th, but if we were like 8th or like 7th, 8th, 9th, somewhere just around there, and we went on a 2 or let's say 7 points out of 9 or 6 points out of 9, I think the fans would start to kind of go, okay, we'll keep going. I'm not bought in yet, but at least it's better. But at the moment, there really isn't anything to hang your hat on, apart from 45 minutes against Bournemouth that ultimately we lost, and 45 minutes against Villa that we ultimately lost.
Hey, I keep seeing this new coach for West Ham. What's going on there? Have you not seen that? It's like a new coach at West Ham. Looks like a Moerson double.
I thought you meant a new coach, as in like new liveried coach that they're turning up at the.
No, I mean footballing coach. Like, I don't know if they've changed something around West Ham. Have they got someone in different?
I haven't seen anything.
Well, anyway, look.
West Ham is pleased to confirm the appointment of Paco Gémez as a men's first team coach.
Yeah.
I don't know who he is.
On standby to sack Nuno, yeah?
I think so. I think that's what it is. But it's surprising that they brought him in that early to kind of before the game. I think it's
pressure,
crazy.
Nuno.
Imagine Nuno gets sacked twice at White Hart Lane in 3 years. That's nuts.
That'll be a quiz question in a few years.
Is Saturday El Sackico? That's the question.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, let's move
Frank
into
uses that. He has to go, man. He has to.
just for the purposes of the clip.
So they've got no Paqueta, remember? Who apparently, I don't know, I shouldn't even say. But yeah, Paqueta, obviously, he's out, isn't it?
Well,
Yeah,
he says
he's
he's
down
out.
tools.
I mean, yeah.
But yeah, we'll see, innit?
We'll find out on Saturday if he's in or out.
Listen, like I think the board will keep him, even if we lose. I know the atmosphere will be toxic and unbearable, but I just got a feeling that they would still keep
I
him.
think they're behind him. I'm more worried
I think they're behind him as well, to be honest.
I think they're behind him. I think they understand what he's dealing with behind the scenes. But listen, I'll be interested to see if Tati scores, the Argentinian. I mean, he's come in, scored a goal. No doubt he'll have a worldie. I'm more worried about Somerville and Bowen, if I'm brutally honest. But
mate, they can't keep him if we lose to Villa. That's if we lose to Villa. If we lose to West Ham, he is a shit manager. I don't care what anyone says.
They're clearly backing him, mate, because like they literally signed all of the stories that have come out recently. Even though there was a lot of initially there was like conflicting information around. Initially, it was Thomas Frank didn't even want Conor Gallagher, and then now it's Conor Gallagher. Thomas Frank picked up the phone and was he made the call. He was the draw. Yeah, who knows? Yeah, but exactly, he's PR. But who knows what the truth is? But the most recent sort of settled science on that particular matter is that Conor Gallagher bought into what Thomas Frank said to him. So I would imagine that you can't if you buy a player on the Thursday and sack the manager that's responsible for bringing him in on the Saturday. You know, it's just even more. I think I'm with you, Johnny. I think that they're, despite the fans not being on board, I think that the board are going to give him more time.
The other point that is very, very relevant is that previous managers have all had their best 11 at times, and we've seen them. Yeah, that's right. Ange had his first 11 for quite a few games, particularly the first 10. Frank hasn't had that yet, has he?
No.
So,
and it's important, right? Because what we're generally, I think most Tottenham fans would say that we have improved defensively, but we're terrible with the ball at our feet. But the vast majority of the players that have been out for the longest period of time under Thomas Frank's tenure
have we improved defensively? Have we?
Well, I think
maybe not necessarily in goals conceded, but in terms of like the start, we do look more solid defensively, organised. I think
we set up in a better defensive position.
Yeah,
I think the problem has been. From my position, I think the problem lies in the midfield, not the attack. I think we're so porous in the middle. As I said before, we're using the analogy, but we're more open than Bonnie Blue, and I think there lies the problem. When we've got someone like Paulinho and Conor Gallagher breaking it up and allowing Xavi to express himself, I think that's going to be the difference. I want to see Xavi step up now with the backing of Conor Gallagher and Paulinho.
Do you reckon Conor Gallagher was the replacement for Højbjerg?
That's an interesting one, because that was the one I know they were mentioning Bentancur, but
should never have sold Højbjerg, by the way.
I loved Højbjerg because you know what? His leg could have been hanging off and he'd still go out there and give everyone a bollocking if they weren't pulling up for it. And look, whatever you think about Conor Gallagher, he is a leader, right? That he is a leader. He's a fighter. He's a leader. And let's be honest, when the chips are down, a lot of that midfield and a lot of that team, have gone up their own backside.
Do you trust Frank, though, to use him in the right position or utilize him properly? Do you trust Frank to do that?
I think he can. But I would like to see. I think he might still need to put square pegs in round holes until we get some players back. One of the biggest disappointments for me, I've got to be honest with you, is Mohamed Kudus. I really expected him to progress, and for me, he's regressed a bit. I suppose you could defend him by saying a lot of teams have doubled up on him, but sometimes you don't need to beat your man 2 or 3 times. You need to pick up your head. He's got lots of the attributes, but I don't feel at the moment he's using them to the best of his ability.
Johnny, this system doesn't work. Kudus out wide. We're going to play this system. He needs to come into the middle where he can go left or right when dribbling. Out wide, he's isolated.
Yeah, but he's still dribbling. I hear you, but
he's been found out because they double up on him. In the middle, he can go left or right to get out of it, and he's not allowed to do that because of the way he's played. The system he's being mismanaged in this system.
You can't have a 10 that doesn't pass the ball unless he absolutely has to.
come on, he's.
I'm not saying come on. You're the one calling him out, and I'm saying
I'm not
right?
calling him
You're
out.
saying he's not improved. We just said he hasn't improved.
Right, hang on a minute. Everything's like an extreme with you, right? I'm saying he's been a
It's
disappointment.
not. I'm just a fast talker.
Shit. I just think that he's lost his ball. I mean, Mohamed Kudus has been dispossessed more than any other player across Europe's top 5 leagues this season, 54 times. Now, I'm not saying the system is not helping him. The fact that he's isolated. My point here is only the part when he does get into the position. Sometimes he overplays it, doesn't play the pairs in. I'm allowing that. I'm allowing for the fact that he's being doubled up at the moment.
I think also though, it's like a bit like Porro. I'm not a fan of Porro at the moment, by the way. But when you rinse and repeat certain players in certain positions, and you've got the same play, you got to remember teams are studying. They're studying. They're watching how we build up, how we play. And we as fans can see the players get it to Porro. Porro clips one into Kudus. Sometimes the ball's up here to Kudus, sometimes it's up here. But Kudus has got to deal with it. Do you understand? Back to defender. And then he's got to turn and he's got to make a decision. So there's a lot of times when he's not in favorable positions. For me, that's down to the coaching staff. So I'm saying to the coaching staff, all right, rather than him hugging the touchline, make him stand staggered. A bit like what they used to do with Saka. They used to make Saka stand on a staggered position opposite to Ben White, and they would find angles because passing the straight line, defenders could intercept that quite easily. If you're standing at an angle, it's not always about the speed of the ball or the pace of the ball. It's where you receive it, how you receive it, and how your body shape is. If you're at an angle, it's easier to get on a half turn, to do a 1-2, or to take that ball and then carry up the field. So it's about patterns of play. And I think that goes back to the original points we were saying. We're not seeing patterns of play at the moment, attacking ones or favorable ones. Yeah. And it's become really predictable. And that's what I said. And it's making players like Kudus, us like think, could have saved it, could have saved the one. But I thought, honestly, before when Frank first came in, I thought Kudus was going to be like an Mbumo, where he tucks in a lot in that box on his favorite left foot. Boom! Do you know what I'm saying? Across the goalkeeper. But I'm not seeing that.
Do you not think he's overplayed that? Overplayed.
That's what I said. That's what I said. Like Porro overplayed every game. And teams and analysts are watching, they're studying it, and it's becoming predictable.
And he's passing, man. He's passing.
And the problem is, guys, that there's no balance.
Quality 3 months ago.
Number one, we don't have the quality on the left. Everything's pushed over to the right.
Yeah,
exactly.
The horseshoe situation. They don't play through the middle, which now hopefully bringing Gallagher in will put right. And no, you're right. If you move Kudus into the middle, then yes, that frees him up to actually do more damage in the right areas.
Instead of who?
How's about we stop playing a 4-3-3 and play 2 in the attacking mid row? But this manager just 4-3-3, 4-3-3, 4-3-3.
I don't think you can play. By the way, just quickly, I fundamentally disagree. People that say that you could play Kudus, the version of Kudus that you're seeing this season, if you bring him into a sort of 10 role, a central role, then you're just going to cut off every possible angle because he doesn't pass the ball unless he absolutely has to. He runs into blind alleys. I rate Kudus. I absolutely rate him. But unless you were to see a different version of him, his head down, he's incredibly great at keeping hold of the ball. I think Ash was spot on with the way that he receives it, chest high, his protection. He's absolutely phenomenal. But if you put him in the 10, you are going to cut off every possible run because he doesn't look up, doesn't find the pass. His peripheral vision is basically non-existent. And that version of him, if you could get a different version of him where he's less selfish and a bit more kind of, I don't know, whatever you say, Johnny, about barrel-chested, like running. Up.
Do you know, 3 months ago, everyone was calling him quality. He's class. That's what everyone was saying.
I rate him. I rate him. I just think there's weaknesses to his game, and one of them is not is tunnel vision when he's on the ball.
What did West Ham fans tell us, Sean, when we signed him at the beginning of the season?
So you'll get 10 good games, and then he'll decline.
Yeah, they said watch him for the first.
So he's a waste of money then. It's an absolute waste of money if that's the case.
Johnny, what I was told was if we
get a coaching failure because our coaches can't improve.
Kudus was at West Ham 2 years. If we get the Kudus year 1, it'll be brilliant, and if we get the Kudus year 2, it'll be shit.
Yeah, they say
we've had a bit of a mix, but do you not think, guys, that
we always go after the players, man?
Still,
on this channel, we've got this habit of attacking the players. All the players for. We never talk about the coaches and their work and the managers.
Do we not think that Kudus will really? if Kudus has more confidence in the players that are around him, if we have better forwards, I'm sure he would release the ball a lot quicker. It's just that he probably doesn't.
That's what I'm saying, maybe, but all I'm saying, Lubo, is the version of him that we have seen. He is head down, tunnel vision, and that doesn't support.
You know what? I think both of you guys are kind of onto something, because I feel like we don't have runners on our team, and Kudus, when he's on the ball, you have to be on the same wavelength, meaning that 100%. As soon as he's got the ball, he needs to see someone running past him for him to feed it in at that speed of level.
Ash, run where? He's going down the right wing. Where's your runner coming from?
No, I'm saying when we're on a transition, for example, when we're on a transition,
and he's out wide on the transition.
He's in a run in transition, and I'm saying on the left-hand side, he could do a quick switch of play. There's no one on that left-hand side making a dart and run on that left-hand side, and there's no one central running in behind.
Odobert and Tell incapable of making those runs, or are they told not to run?
So like, for example, Richie's meant to be the foil. He's meant to come in, drop in, and be that kind of false nine almost, where he comes in, gets the ball, looks after it, and lays it off. But he's not capable of doing that.
Isn't Moani
but then that kind of
isn't Moani good at
Moani's meant to be like that. Moani's meant to be like that, but at the moment,
casual. He's just far too casual.
Yeah, at the moment, we're not seeing the same level. But maybe because profile in Serie A, for example, you get a lot more time and a lot more space on the ball. In Premier League, it's boom, boom, boom. You don't get that time. You don't get that space. And maybe he's learning that a bit like Xavi.
We saw him making the runs in against PSG. We saw him making runs down the middle against Aston Villa. He got an assist by making that run down the middle and freeing Odobert.
Those are recent. Well, Aston Villa's a recent game, so I'm saying it's a possibility
because Xavi and Moani were both in the middle, 2-10 almost attacking. That's why.
Yeah, that's right, correct. But I'm
saying, what I'm saying though, 2-10.
Yeah, that's what I said as well. 2 10s, 2 8s.
Right, but then when I say it, I get gunned down.
Well, no one's gunning you down. We're just agreeing. We just said it. I just said it before, so no one's gunning you down because I said.
Well, no, because when I said put Kudus into that 10 role, it's like no. But that
if you're playing as a 4-2-3-1 with the 10 that's supposed to be the link, you need a 10. You need a 10 that.
Forget the link. Sure. Let me give you an example of something I saw against Aston Villa. Right. When we were on the ascendancy against Aston Villa, I saw Moani and I saw Xavi Simons absolutely taking it to Villa in that middle of the park and going at them. And I'm thinking, right, we've actually got Villa on the ropes here. And then Moani does well on the ball, beats a man, goes forward, feeds Odobert, nice finish. You're thinking, right, game on. Now we've got an FA Cup tie on our hands. Unai Emery then makes 2 substitutions to try and grab back control of that midfield because we were on top of them. So he tried to restabilize it. At that point, if I was Frank, I would have said, keep them 2 in the 10 because they're causing problems, but I need another outlet up top. I'm going to go 2 up top because that's where we're causing damage. Our manager takes off Tell, who's actually having a good game, brings on Ben Scarlett and plays him right wing, goes back to the wide areas. I'm like, what are you doing? And we lost all momentum. That's got nothing to do with the players. That's all down to the managers and the coaches. And I saw that.
That's fine. I agree with you on that. 100% agree with you on that.
Right, but this is so. Yeah, but this is what I mean. As a fan base, we go after the players, but that was pure managerial and coaching decisions there.
I'm not sure. Hang on.
We're doing better.
I think I agree with everything you just said, apart from the thing where you say,
Sean, I can give you many examples.
We're going after the players. We're just like, in terms of Kudus specifically, we're analysing the version of Kudus that we've seen. At Ajax, we saw a different version of Kudus. At times at West Ham, we saw a different version of Kudus, right? So there's in the words out of my mouth were the version of Kudus that we see that is head down, tunnel visioned. I don't think you could put that version in the 10 in a 4-2-3-1 and expect to be able to thread the play through the links.
Sean, was there an issue with Kudus?
Then you could.
Was there an issue with Kudus out wide earlier on in the season?
In the first 10 games, no.
Right.
Big up to the chat.
What's happened?
What
I think's happened since is 2 things. One, they've doubled up on Kudus because every team watches videotapes of Tottenham and knows just give the ball to Kudus because that's all they've got. And what we failed to do is adapt our play to compensate that problem of doubling up on Kudus. And secondly, not moving Kudus into the middle where he can shift left or right. So what we've done is we've left Kudus to drown in that situation. That's what I think's personally happened. You can say, okay, maybe he has had a bit of dip of form, But I think we facilitated that. I think we've assisted that situation. Because for me, Kudus is much better than what we're seeing. Much better.
He is for sure. But the one thing that
I think we're letting
me
him down
about Frank, the one thing that frustrates me about Frank is that when we're in that situation where Kudus is going twos up, that unlike a lot of teams where, like, I'll give you an example, Gyökeres, right? He's getting pelters. But what he does, Gyökeres is taking players out. He's taken one or two players out through his physicality, making the runs. And Odegaard and Saka and Martinelli, they're all exploiting the space that he's created and the space that he's had from dragging those players. We aren't exploiting that space. Now, are we not exploiting that space because we haven't had the midfielders? That is what I'm giving him at this moment or previous. But when we've now got Conor Gallagher and we're going to have Xavi, who's back and is not going to have 3 games out through suspension, and Paulinho is on form, I want to see difference. I want to see, and Moani, I want to see us utilising those pockets of space. Unfortunately, now Kudus is out for weeks on end. Who's going to take up that mantle?
Johnny, can I ask a question? Do you think that Frank will play Xavi on the left against West Ham and put
Conor Gallagher in
the centre? Or do you think Conor Gallagher will be in a double pivot with a Paulinho?
How I'd like to see it?
Double pivot.
I'd like to see the double. I mean, I want to see him both.
You want to see him in a double pivot for real?
No, that's what he's going to do.
No, I want to see.
Okay.
I want to see them in the middle, right? I don't want to see them anywhere other than in the middle. I want to see Paulinho and him breaking it up. I want to see Paulinho at the base and Gallagher and Xavi up top. Moani and Tell or Odegaard, whichever suits. But
why was he putting him in a double pivot, guys? Like, why do you think he would put him in a double pivot? Like,
was Xavi further up, or you playing?
No, Conor Gallagher. I'm talking about. Why do you think Frank will put Conor Gallagher?
I don't think he will. I'm just saying that's how I'd like to see it. I'd like to see them both up front, or one behind the other. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't need to play Paulinho and Gallagher together in a double pivot.
Don't make the argument to play Archie Gray, Lubo, for Christ's sake. One show without Archie Gray being mentioned.
I'm not talking about Gray tonight. Gray should be on the bench.
Gray's on the back burner now. Gray's on the back burner. No, I think Paulinho back.
That's right. You play 4-1, I don't know, 2-3 or 4-1-3-2, whichever way you
Ash, cross protection like the in the NFL, where he's screening at the back, Paulinho's sitting at the back of the right in front of the back four. And I'd like to see those two play with a bit of more freedom up front. But they got to be linked. I don't want to see Moani detached from Xavi. I want to see them almost like on top of each other so they can play those intricate 1-2 passes.
Are you not going to, have you not spoken about Richarlison? I've forgotten.
We haven't covered him yet, no. Yeah, 8 weeks out.
Do you think we'll get a striker in or not? We're going to rely on Moani.
We've got a new striker. His name's Dom Solanke. You might not have heard of him.
Yeah, but he's not. He
ain't playing for weeks.
I don't know. Like, do you think we'll rely on Solanke then? Is that what you're saying? We're going to rely on Solanke?
I think we are going to be absolutely idiotic if we play him from the start and expect him to do anything more than 45 minutes.
No chance.
Like, he'll break down.
Solanke. Yeah, I know. So do you reckon we're relying on Moani then? More or less?
Yeah. You'd be Moani in the 9, Odegaard on the right, Tell off the left.
Yeah.
Xavi, Gallagher in the double 10 or more advanced 2, Paulinho behind it.
Yeah, and then that's the team, mate. That's the team.
And you're regular with Spencer.
Spencer
no
left back.
In the 9. Who do you want in the 9 then?
Someone that can score goals.
No, but I'm talking about this season, like where we are now. Oh, you want to go in the transfer window?
Ash, I was against it from day one. There was a big thing on this show, right?
But I'm asking, like, do you say we should go into the transfer window? Is that?
I wasn't wrong.
Are you saying we should go in the transfer window for a new striker?
Ash, when we signed Conor Gallagher, right? I said I'm not bothered. Just like this wing back, I'm not bothered because for me, the biggest issue that we need to fix above everything else is the creativity and putting the ball in the back of the net, which is why I liked Sean's idea of Lookman, because he creates and he scores, which is what Sonny was. We need people that can create and score, because we're not going to get a striker. It's so hard to get a top striker. So let's get wide players or number.
That's what I'm asking you. Strikers are dead. Like right now.
I've got a really horrible feeling that we're going to drop 85 million quid on Samuel Agahawa in the next couple of weeks.
This is what I was getting at.
But this guy doesn't score goals against any top teams. He scored a couple of goals against United last season in the Europa League. But like, we're going to pay over the odds for someone who's 21. He is an absolute unit. He's a massive guy, but he's clumsy. He
reminds me of Jackson. He reminds me of Jackson.
Well, but Nicholas Jackson was.
Oh my God! Did you see him for Seagull, mate? He looked more like Jesse Jackson. Honestly, fucking terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Mate, get that Jackson that was at Chelsea. He's not that shabby.
He was terrible for
Nicholas
Senegal,
Jackson.
mate.
Nicholas Jackson. But I'm saying, remember
Chelsea fans miss him. Chelsea fans miss him.
Well, remember when he first come, he was missing goals. He was a bit off. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even his touch was a bit off when he's up front. Off the left, he's all right. And combining with what's his face, Palmer, them two had a relationship. But when he first come, remember, Jackson was.
It took his time. I remember going on a stream with on Saeed's channel and talking about him, because I'd watched him. Was it Villarreal he played for?
Yeah, it was Villarreal.
Villarreal, wasn't it? Yeah, and I watched Villarreal and I was like, this guy's ability to break, he's so fast in the transition. And then he goes to a high possession team like Chelsea, and he couldn't score for no love nor money until that 11th game against Tottenham. He scored the hat trick. And but I think he's a sort of player that's going to benefit in a transitional team. Like if he was playing at a Forest or something like that, he'd be really, really good, I think. But I don't know if he's the sort of player that I'd want at Tottenham personally.
Yeah, I hear it, man.
If you look at Spurs in the league table, we're 11th for goals scored and 8th for goals conceded. So our defense is better than our attack. We need a couple of players that can put a ball in the back of the freaking net. Because no matter what we change in that midfield, if no one can put the ball in the back of the net, guys, nothing's changing. So we need either wide players or another 10.
It's got to be a wide player on number 10.
Back of the net. Otherwise, second half, February's going to be carnage. If not, February's going to be a disaster if we don't address that. Because those teams will punish us.
What would we be saying now, though, if we had a fit Solanke and Richarlison, a Kulu and a Maddison right now, sat there with Xavi and Conor Gallagher?
That's what we'd be saying.
What would we be saying right now? Would we be a meltdown? Would we be? You see, I feel, as much as I'm fed up with watching the football, I feel like, and something in the back of my head says, like, I have to give the guy the chance to see what he can do with some semblance of an attack. And if he doesn't go, then I'm not going to cry if he goes, but I just feel like I need to see what he could possibly do with some sort of an attack. And
he'll get us top 4, Johnny.
But wait. Whoa. But do you trust Langer? Because now, look, Maddison, but it's irrelevant, then, isn't it?
Johnny loves Langer. He ranks
because Maddison ain't coming back this season.
No.
Kudus not coming back this season. And Solanke, we already know about Solanke.
Kudus is coming back. The terrifying thing is, Ash, is that he's had an injection in his knee, which tells you what? That he's still got pain. So why the hell?
We're not seeing the same Kudus then.
We're not going to see the same way. Mate, I trust Red West.
That's what I'm getting at. So what I'm trying to say to you is, look, you're going to have to dip into the market, no?
Oh, yeah.
Whether we believe it or not.
The window closes now, Ash. The window closes as it is now. Meltdowns will melt down, bro.
Like, that's why people go to protest.
That's why we're protesting.
Listen, Johan Lang, I saw him at Bournemouth, just like lurch. Absolutely no presence whatsoever. Then we saw him in the Villa game, like he sunk into his chair, like he was falling asleep. The only time the guy comes alive is when there's a signing, right? There he was hugging Conor Gallagher. Yeah. Who did Thomas Frank thank? Vinay and Fabio, right? He didn't even mention Johan.
That's interesting, isn't it?
Hold on. I've read a report on Ali Gold tonight that included all three.
Well, I'm just saying,
Change the word around.
Yeah. Someone's gone,
Yeah,
you.
mix that one up.
Jonas, how could you forget Johan? Oh no.
Yeah, well, he
Try
didn't
harder,
mention him, right?
work
I'm
better
just,
on my
all I'm
communication.
interested in what's come out of his mouth rather than what come out of Ali Gold's mouth, mate. Okay.
Hey, trust
Okay.
me.
Okay.
Hey.
Trust the guy who's actually doing the talking, not the guy who says.
He quoted him, Johnny. It could have been a different interview.
Yeah.
So
Someone's giving him a nudge.
We haven't actually
reminded.
spoken about the fact that Paratici is now officially going, because before it was speculation, now it's fact. He's off.
Yeah,
They're not
February the
looking
2nd. He's with us for the window still, and then he's going February the 2nd.
Yeah, his final bit of business will be forcing through a sale for Dragusin to Fiorentina, just so he can get him a nice new spot at his new club. That's what the Don does. That's what the Don does. He takes players from his old
you know
club.
what? Hey, don't be surprised if he's still an advisor to us while he's at Fiorentina.
This the club. 25 years. Guys, let's quickly do some. I forgot to do these super chats from ages ago when I did the other ones. Big up to you, James 119, my man. So sorry for the late one on this one. You did start the choo-choo train, so with it, choo-choo noise for you. To you, buddy. Thank you very much. Hope you're okay, mate. Thanks for the support. We've also got one from Ant London who says, Lubo, this DOF appointment clearly puts the notion of ENIC 2.0 in the mud. We are doomed until ENIC are gone. Vinay out, Lang out, ENIC out, everybody out.
And hopefully you'll be there on Saturday then.
It's business as usual, according to Vinay. Doesn't matter. The people come, people go, but the machine carries on working. That's what he's kind of alluding to. Big up to you, Ant. Thank you very much indeed. Sonny says, apart from how terrible things are right now, thanks to you guys for making things a little bearable. By the way, can't wait to respect the hell out of West Ham.
Lord have mercy.
Thank you, mate. Appreciate you, buddy. Appreciate your support. Appreciate you watching. Stephen J. Cam says, no manager has been properly backed under ENIC. Not in favour of sacking this manager or manager after manager. Half a season is no time. Back the manager or sell up. Yeah. Listen, I think we all need to see a couple more signings coming in. Big up to you, Steve. Thank you very much, my man. Gookology, what a name. He says, Lubo should part the river of low investment and lead the board to the transfer market, write his manifesto into stone and parade it to the masses. Dear God. Dear God, Gookology.
Gookology. Stop bloke.
Can you imagine?
He's got it.
Just when you thought things couldn't get any worse, new announcement pops up from Spurs official. We're delighted to appoint Lubo _61 as new director of Waffle.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to part the south stand.
You get a nice waffle with a nice bit of syrup on, let me tell you.
Big up to you, Gookie. Big up to you. No pasa nada says, yes, Stel, it's all the players' fault unless it's Ange.
And someone else who's got it. He's spot on.
So when I sit here saying that Ange has ruined our fullbacks by inverting them, you ignored that. When I sat here last season and everyone was slagging off Van der Ven and I said, no, I'd like to see Van der Ven further back before we assess him because the high line is suicidal for him. I guess you ignored that as well. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what more I can say.
It's not easy being right all the time, is it, Stel?
Well, you wouldn't know.
No, because I'm always wrong, mate, right?
Yeah.
I think that's the thank you very much. No pasa nada. Thank you very much indeed. Thanks to everybody. We need to do some predicciones for the game. Lubo, start with you, mate. What do you expect to happen?
No. I'll go after you, Sean.
Oh yeah.
I'll go after you. You're not getting me every week where you copy my score to make sure that you're still ahead of me.
Just Lubo. Well, sorry, Stel. What is the current scores on the doors, mate?
Yeah, I'm just trying to. I had the screen up a second ago. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Yeah, let's do a screen share. You're still leading.
Oh, I thought so. Yeah, I just want to double check on that. Yeah.
Lubo's the only one that got a point last week because he predicted a loss. Got the wrong score. Everyone else got it wrong.
15 points.
We're closing. We're closing.
Go that far. It's very neat, Del. It's very neat. You've coloured it in colour coordinated. It's all very nice, mate. Well done.
Yeah.
Sean, you're gonna do an Arsenal, mate. You're gonna do an Arsenal. Telling you.
A bottle job, yeah. Okay, fair enough. Well, we shall see. For what it's worth, on the channel that shan't be named, we have a predictions league every week, and I've been out in front since day one. But the chat are catching me.
They're closing up.
Rapido. I had a mare last week, and the chat did very well. Right then, let's do the predictions. Ash, I'll start with you then, mate. What's the scoreline, buddy?
Yeah, you know what's mad? Before I say my prediction, what going for the Brazilian left back? Is he signing or?
In his medical, he was up at the training ground apparently today. So
okay, just checking.
It's all about the production. It's not about the player and what he can do on the pitch. It's all about the production. Does he have a dog? Is his mum with him? You know, what's the stories? He's probably got one with his maracas out. I don't know.
I'm glad you noticed that. 2-1. I'm saying 2-1. Sean.
2-1 Spurs. Yep.
Yeah, Spurs. Yeah.
Johnny boy.
I'm going to go, because I'm so good at this, I'm going to go 3-1 to Spurs. West Ham to take the lead. I'm for Conor Gallagher to actually score a debut goal. 3-1.
Love that. Stel?
Do you know West Ham draw a lot on the road and we're not good at home? But, mate, after watching West Ham, Wolves fucking destroyed them. They're shit. 3-1 Spurs, man. Honestly, I'm saying it now. If we don't beat this lot, I'm frank out because they are awful. They are so bad. We're not bad. They are bad. 3-1 Tottenham. We're going to beat them. Easy.
I am going to go 2-0 Tottenham.
2-0 Tottenham.
Look at Lubo. He's desperate.
I know. He's
desperate to go off him.
Mate, it ain't that complicated. Hang on, get your ruler out. I'm 2 points behind. Do I take the risk at 2 points behind?
No. 3-1 Spurs.
Hang on, why are we all going the same score? There's like 101 scores here. Get your own guide.
Lubo pulls a hamstring doing his predictions.
I went first 3-1, and I didn't expect two of you to come and do the same score.
Hang on. Ange, I won't be in for training, mate. Ange, sorry. Pulled a hamstring.
Mate, the only thing they've got going for them is Jared Bowen. That's it. Otherwise, they're dead.
Right, you know what? I can't be having this. I'm going to have to go 3-0. So watch it be 3-1. I'm going to go 3-0.
Are you sure you want to change, Johnny?
Johnny, don't do that, mate. Johnny, every time you change your scoreline,
I know.
That's going to give this bozo down the bottom left the chance to get the 3 points. Don't do that.
I'll be calling a score and the other copy.
Sean.
1 minute, Johnny. Are you definitely changing to 3-0?
Yeah, 3-0.
Right.
Everyone, get your money on 3-1. It's nailed on.
There we go.
Do you know what, guys? I'm changing mine as well, actually. I'm going 2-1.
There you go.
Don't forget, guys, scarves are on Stel this Saturday. Doesn't matter how many of you line up to meet him. He's buying them. He promised everyone scarves are on Stel.
Let's get 10,000 down there for scarves.
It's a bit like the Milky Bar kid when he said the Milky Bars are on me.
The Milky scarves are on Stel.
How much are the scarves, by the way? I don't even know.
25 quid a pop, apparently, mate. Yes.
25.
No, I'm kidding. I've got no idea. I don't know. I've got no idea.
Listen, guys, the budget is 60 quid. Once that's gone, I'm scarfed out.
So these scarves I actually bought. This guy was doing a mental trade. We were in the Spurs fan zone in Alkmaar in Holland, and everybody was buying this scarf. I think they were 15 quid. So
right, 4 scarves. There's 4 scarves up there.
So still, if 10,000 come up to you for scarves at 15 quid,
10,000.
You better start selling that property, mate, that you bought in Cyprus.
That's right, it's 150 grand still.
4 scarves. I'm donating 4 scarves.
We need a few more super chats for Stel's 150 grand. Come on.
Yeah, my scarf was donated to me by a guy at Liverpool away who gave it to me and said, "Mate, I can't do this anymore. I want you to hand over the mantle and here's the scarf." I think you know who he is, Sean. I keep forgetting his name. Two guys. I see him at every away game. I can't remember his name now.
Oh, is it the guy? The guy does my the TV thing.
Yeah,
Ant. Is that Ant? Yeah, Ant.
I can't remember his name. He's a nice guy. He knows us both, mate. But he gave me the scarf. I might bring my Bodo Glint scarf, mate. That's yellow.
Yeah. I've got mine somewhere. I've got to say, yeah, that's perfect. I'll just do that. You know.
That was my highlight of last year, 2025. Bodo Glint away, and that and Bilbao.
I'll take mine. That's the three of us. That's 45 quid you save still.
I'm gonna wear my Applewell scarf because they wear blue and yellow, so that'll do.
There you go. All right, guys. So I must say a massive thank you to everyone for stepping in tonight. For Ash,
thanks to Ash.
Let me get Ash's channel one more time. Here is Ash's channel. Please do click on that link and smash it for Ash. Also, guys, I don't know if you guys know, but Billy T and Connor, friend of the show as well, have started a new channel. They haven't actually started yet, but they're already up to 500 subscribers. So I think their first video is this week or next week. But that's big up to Billy for coming on. And there is their channel as well. So if you love those guys, then like we do, then please do smash the sub for both.
Smash the Spurs Kings thing, like Harvey Price's iPad. Smash that one, and also when Connor starts tomorrow, isn't it? Tomorrow night?
Is it tomorrow night? Is it Connor's? Yeah, Connor's debut. Connor and Billy's debut. Yeah,
with Billy T. And we got a super chat, a super scarf chat.
That's another scarf. Listen,
scarf.
This
Big
is
up to you, Sanilla.
It's about £100 donated to the scarf fund, chaps.
Yeah, YouTube taking half of it, unfortunately. But
scumbags.
Big up to you, Sanilla. That's very generous as well. Big up to everybody for coming on.
Big up, Sanilla. By the way, he goes to all the protests, so big up to Sanilla. I always see him at the protests.
Thanks very much, guys, for all your support. And come on, you Spurs, and it's time. Maybe we'll go on a winning run. Stranger things have happened. Well, a one-game winning run.
And guys, last thing I'll say, OK Jersey, their website was down a couple of days ago. I think something happened, but they're back up, and they are going to be having a certain white number. If you know, if you've got 90-101 reasons to have felt a little bit pissed off that you missed out on it last time, that will be somewhere. So just do your thing. OK Jersey, code 5 at checkout. Big up to them. Big up to you all. We'll see you on Saturday. You'll see me back tomorrow. For all of our channels, get into the description and support everybody as well. Love you all. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Jeff.
Bye, Jeff.